I haven't seen enough people talking about what Dr. Gavin Wood, what he just proposed to do with the Polkadot blockchain. And I'm talking about the Jam Chain upgrade. This is wild. This is radical. It is like nothing we have seen before in blockchain. If I'm going to break it down into just one sentence, you're taking everything that works with Ethereum, everything that works with Polkadot, and you're combining it in this massive world computer for everyone to access and use. It's crazy. We're going to go, a really overview look of this. We're not going to get in too technical detail. Before we do, though, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. Let's take a look at it. So, Polkadot Jam Chain. It is taking the parachain model, everything that's been done, and is throwing it in the garbage. We're not going that direction anymore. Take that architecture, take all that building, throw it away. This is the future. This is essentially what he's saying. Again, combining, Ethereum smart contracts, being able to execute directly on the Polkadot chain, those smart contracts and applications, and then, of course, retaining everything we like about Polkadot. TPS, we are looking for very high TPS here. And sometimes you see numbers quoted on paper, but the system he wants to build will hit it. We're talking about 300,000 TPS, real world, not just theoretical on paper. The biggest change here, though, is he's not talking about just running little rinky-dink smart contracts. He's talking about running full console-level applications. And essentially what he's saying is he wants to really realize that original vision of Ethereum. When they first started building that blockchain, he wants to build a world computer. That was the original vision. They couldn't pull it off with Ethereum. It's too early. He thinks he can do it now, and he wants to make that run at actually accomplishing that. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, of course. There's problems with anything this radical and this large. Number one, the approach used is a hybrid approach. It is leveraging both off-chain and on-chain architecture to reach those very high TPS numbers. Security risk. When you're doing things off-chain, people could theoretically mess with the data, mess with the transactions, whatever. It's a radical approach. There's risk there. If the architecture isn't perfect, it could be a lot of problems here. High-end validators. This is going to be expensive as all hell to roll out this network. What you need from these validators to be able to do this, the money to set it up, to maintain it, is going to be astronomical. Again, you're building a global decentralized computer. You ain't running this on no Raspberry Pi. It's going to be very expensive. Can he get that capital to flow in to build out and maintain this network? Question still up in the air. We'll have to see. There's already been a heavy investment made in the current architecture. You have investors that are investing in parachains. You have builders that have already built out things like Moonbeam and, Akala and all this stuff. And I'm not saying that they won't come along for the ride on the next chain. They still may have their purpose, but it's not what they've been building towards. And you're taking all of that work, all of that investment, and you're kind of throwing it out the window here. And that's a problem. When you've already, put your vision out there, people are going along with it, and then you're kind of pulling the rug out from under them. Will they be willing to pivot and go this new direction? We're going to see. And lastly, I think you're completely starting over when you're already behind Ethereum. You're trying to play catch up here, and your competitor already has a big lead, and now we're going to go all the way back to the beginning. That ain't no joke. That puts you at a big disadvantage. Will it be worth the risk? Well, let's take a look at this. Why it may work. Well, first of all, it's being designed by the chief architect of both Ethereum and Polkadot, two massive blockchains. You can't count it out just for that reason alone. If it is successful, it'll be radically more capable than anything we see in blockchain today. Again, you're going to be on Ethereum, executing little silly smart contracts, and you're going to be running full applications on this thing. It could take blockchain to a different level like we've never seen before. Your capability would far exceed your competitors. You really would be on a different level, and it'd be very difficult for anyone to catch you at that point. It has speed and scale for mass adoption. That's important. We're not building that for the future. From day one, this thing would be ready to rock and roll. And it expands the capability of what just blockchains can do in general, and realizes that vision that he set out to do, which is build a freaking world computer that we can access from anywhere in a decentralized manner and use to run very serious applications. Massive risks here. Should he do it? I'll tell you this. Polkadot's been floundering. It's not taking over. It's not catching Ethereum. It's not having the success that he wants. Why keep just plugging along here? This is one of the geniuses of blockchain. I say make a run at it. If you think you could actually pull this off, and we'll kind of really dig into the specifics of what he wants to do and what it will take. But if he thinks he can get it there, then you got to go for it. You don't want to be blockchain number 12 if you're Dr. Gavin Wood. You don't want to have this ancillary blockchain that, some people use for some interesting things, but it's not a contender for number one. I say, if you can pull this off, if you realistically can bring in the investment capital needed to get this thing launched, let's go for it and see what he can do. Only time will tell. Again, make no mistake. Everything is exciting on paper. It's easy to put down interesting ideas. It's a whole different thing to go out there and execute. But again, you're talking about the chief architect of two of the biggest blockchains in history. Can he pull it off here? The odds aren't on his side, but if anyone can, probably be him. Let me know what you think down below. As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.